Speaking to me now, the former WBO World Middleweight Champion, Andy Lee. Andy, how's your boxing retirement going?
Good, as you can see, I'm enjoying not making weight anymore. But yeah, I've settled into it now. It is an adjustment, not having a structure, not having that kind of goal every few months to get ready for something. But filling my time up in other ways. I work a lot with the media, in radio in Ireland, and some bits and pieces on TV and BBC. So yeah, and I have a young fighter now who I'm coaching and training, and so it keeps me busy.
When you look back at your pro career, I mean, I suppose winning the world title was the pinnacle, the highlight.
Definitely, yeah. I had a lot of highs, a few lows, but obviously winning the world title, nothing compares to that. It's your lifetime's work, innit? You know what I mean? And there was like, what made it all the sweeter was that it looked like it might not happen for a long time. That I had one crack at it, and then things kind of went quiet, and then I got a chance out of the blue, and I took it. So yeah, it was great career, long career. Only 12 or 11 years, so I fought all over the world and different places and different opponents, and yeah, a lot of experience built up along the way.
When you won the world title, the fashion you won as well was pretty spectacular. One big punch sort of turned the fight around for you.
Yeah, I had like that run of fights where I would be losing and then come back and turn it on its head with one punch. So once you do it for the first time, you always know that you have a chance. So you never give up, you never stop believing in yourself. So yeah, it always gives you great strength in yourself and confidence. Yeah.
Did you, towards the end of your career, try and look for the one punch a little bit too much, or was that not a trap you fell into?
Yeah, well, if you can, referring to the fight with Joe Saunders, I think it maybe happened was my downfall that I was looking for that one punch early on, and then he caught me. My power worked against me, and then I could never box myself. I tried to box my way back into it, but 2 knockdowns, 1 round is too big to come back from. Too much of a deficit. So yeah, that's the way it goes in a fight. Sometimes you make these decisions, they happen in an instant, but you have to live with them for the rest of your life. So that's the crucial thing about sport.
I mean, the Joe Saunders fight in particular, like you said, it was a majority decision, if my memory serves me correct. So it was a close fight, and the 2 knockdowns really, that was what split you?
Yeah, that was it. Like, it was always a major uphill battle at that point. I just wasn't boxing well in the early rounds, wasn't feeling good going into the fight. And I kind of got desperate and looked for one big punch, because I knew if I just landed that shot I could end him, But he was so clever and quick and sneaky that he caught me on the inside with the punch and used my power against me. And he boxed smart, he's boxed very smart and boxed well, and has shown what a good fighter he is since then. So no shame in losing to him, but that's it. You just have to move on with your life, don't you? And I fought again after that, won a fight, but I knew then it was time to wrap it up. Yeah.
Did you feel when you had that one last fight after the Saunders fight that the spark had gone or the fire had died out?
A number of things. Like, I'd kept myself active and available. There was some big fights that was offered, but for one reason or another, it never came. So I kept myself always ready, and I had that fight just to say, I'm still here. But when, I had a daughter at the same time, she was just to be born, and I just knew that there was more to lose from boxing, like with the risks that are involved in, which we saw recently. Yeah, there was more to lose than I had to gain from fighting again, and it's quite a selfish lifestyle and selfish, and you have to be very self-centered and only consider yourself. When you have a wife and child, that's not very fair on them. For me, I was world champion. What do I want? What am I still fighting for? Just to go out and live my glory. There's more to life, and I have to live for them instead of them be looking after them instead of them one day looking after me, in a sense. So that's it. That was all the reasons why I retired.
And I can remember when you turned pro, and I think I was reading in one of the boxing magazines, and some described you as the Irish Sugar Ray Robinson, which puts a lot of pressure on you to start your career.
I think EMANUEL started calling me that. He was always good for a good soundbite. That was back in the crunk days. I used to go in and move around on that rhythm like he used to have, and then bop, 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 But yeah, that was a nice. It didn't stick anyway. It was said a couple of times. It didn't stick anyway. Yeah.
And what was it like working with the great late EMANUEL Steward?
It was a lesson in life as well as boxing. He was a genius in and out of the ring. A very unique man, and hard to describe him or sum him up in a few words. But he was a gentleman and a class act, and I learned so much from him. And it was a pleasure that I got to be around him and spend so much time with him, especially, as it turned out to be the last few years of his life. So, yeah, it was an honour.
What makes a great trainer like EMANUEL Steward in your experience?
I don't know. There's obviously with a boxing coaches, it's like horse trainers and jockeys. You have to be able to get someone fit, teach them technique, but then you have to be the jockey as well and steer them through the fight. And like as you had steered horse through a race. So Emmanuel was great in the gym, but also his biggest strength I think was in the corner. Like his corner work as a cornerman, he'll guide you through a fight, and I had unwavering faith, and so in anything he said to me, I would do. And whatever he said to me in the corner, it would always match how I was feeling internally. So he was a great man in reading a fight. But he was obsessive about boxing, and 24/7 it was boxing. And we'd spend lots of time just talking about the fight game, and like him imparting his psychology, his philosophy, and like a psychological approach to the fight. So it's hard as what makes it's they have to have a bit of everything, but. I was lucky to work with him, and also lucky to work with Adam Booth, who I regard just as highly, in a different way, completely different style, different approach to coaching, but both of them are just as high in my book.
You mentioned earlier that you're now training box as well. I believe you've got a young gentleman you want to introduce us to?
Introduce Paddy Donovan. He's a highly decorated amateur from Ireland. 166 fights, 161 wins, world silver medalist. Just signed with Top Rank, and I'm managing and training him, and we've only started in the last couple of months, but very impressed with him, and you're going to hear a lot more of him in the future.
Okay, so there's no pressure on you. You're trained by a former world champion. What's your thoughts, mate?
Look, I'm just looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be a tough challenge ahead of me, but I'm just absorbing everything in and getting ready for a long road in the pro game. Look, that's it really. And
what's it like having this gentleman by your side?
Yeah, it's absolutely world class. Andy in general is a great guy, and he's been a world champion. He's been there, he's done that, and everything he's learned, I'm hoping he can put it into me, and maybe I can come world champion someday.
Okay, thank you both. Good luck for the future, and enjoy the rest of the night.
He's the new white Sugar Ray Robinson.
Cheers, guys.